Hey, what's up guys? This is Oakley and we're going to be doing a 2v2. I'm actually playing with a subscriber, so this battle got started super quick. I skipped a little bit of the marching up, but it's going to be myself as England in the back, and then over here we have, I believe this is a subscriber, for Berlin. He's going to be on this side as the Scottish. So he's charging forward with, he has 4 of these mailed knights. They're up in the trees right here, and they're going to be trying to chase off the Byzantine cav. So he's been sending up a lot of these horse archers just to harass our units. And then he's falling back to this additional unit back here who's continuing to shoot into this mess. However, what you don't quite see is there's going to be a lot of these Highlanders hidden right here protecting this huge front of these archers. So it's kind of a big missile exchange up through these trees with, once again, the mailed knights here popping in and out of being hidden. But here comes another charge from the cavalry. So he's putting a lot of his skirmishers up here. He has some spearmen to back this up, so they're going to be probing a lot on this front, just trying to see what the deal is here. And he sees all these light infantry positioned here, so it's not quite worth it to charge through, just because he has so many of these light infantry that he'll just get caught on that. He's taking it more upon himself to attack these Highlanders, try and do some damage, but there's just so many of those guys that they're really putting on the hurt on these cav. But again, that's why you always bring some sort of backup. So he's going to be charging with these Byzantine Lancers, heavy infantry, and look how they're chopping up these Highlanders. Yeah, they're going to be able to soak up a good amount of these Highlanders. And some more of the infantry is coming out of the woodwork, so more Lancers, all sorts of troops. The Varangian Guard are going to come and chop up these forces. What he's hoping to do is just fully expose all of these archers. However, we have Galloglaith guys who are very good at armor penetration, so these are going to be charging forward, and they're going to try and rip through this huge horde. A little bit of the analysis here. It looks like the Scottish troops are being forced back. However, he's sending in reinforcements. The Byzantine force has sent a lot of troops here, really cracking this initial front, and then he's sending in these Byzantine cav just to harass these mailed knights, but then he also has cataphractoi going around at a distance, more cataphractoi here, so he's going to try and concentrate all of these and fend off this huge, look at this, so many of these mailed knights up through the woods, backed up by some spearmen, so it's going to be a pretty epic fight. Over on this front here, I have not really seen much from my opponent. Basically what I did was I positioned armored sergeants here with dismounted feudal knights, so standard mix of infantry. And then here again, when I use England, I like to use these really cheap units. So 3 of these Kerns and then 2 of the Welsh Spearmen. These are really cheap guys, but they're enough to hold back any attack force and protect my Sherwood archers. Over on the left flank, I had positioned 2 of these peasant archers who got some shots off to my opponent's cav who was trying to hold back a bit. And then I have some levy spearmen. Sorry we missed this, but there's basically an engagement. My 3 mailed knights against the opponent's feudal knights, and again, I'm pretty outclassed, but I always bring reinforcements, which should help turn that tide. So my archers are going to be helping to even up this fight. A couple of them just shooting into this blob should be able to even up those casualties, and then the spearmen should help win this for me. So I'm holding up this front. The rest of my guys are waiting here for the moment. I'm going to probably move them up, but I really don't know what's going on with that force. And these units here are kind of going to be looking over to their right and seeing that everything is being poured onto the Scottish troops. Some of the Lancers, this initial unit that got in on the charge, is being obliterated, but the rest is all kind of pouring in on this huge melee fight, and now more Varangian Guard to help with the counter charge. Over here it's a mess of just Byzantine cav, cataphractoi, the Scotland's mailed knights. Now this fight should probably tip towards the Byzantine unit if it weren't for the fact that there's spear militia in here, but I think he's going to send some of these Varangian Guard to help clean this up, so it's a pretty even fight at this point. Big mess here that could go either way. It really depends on which cavalry unit is going to break free, and looks like when I saw that my allies' general died, I was a little worried about this whole flank collapsing. So you can see some of the French troops starting to waver. This tide is starting to go, it could go either way, and I see that the cavalry is starting to chew into this side. If they break this, they can easily hammer and anvil that force with the support of more archers. So my opponent over here is just trying to bide his time, keep me at bay. I was able to pretty decidedly force him back. He pulled back, didn't want to commit too many of his troops, so I'm just going to keep pushing them back. I still have the cavalry disadvantage, but I think I evened up our numbers pretty well, and I have some archers who are going to be able to keep his guys at bay. What I'm mostly going to do is just try and commit some reinforcements over to this side of the battle, even up this melee blob, which is starting to turn against us. You can see our troops are getting just cut up. It says only a military genius could win for some of these forces. So, yeah, the Byzantine is going to win. So what I do is I decide to start rampaging through with my general, mops up one of these units, and he's going to charge into the rear of this force. I'm also committing 2 of these dismounted feudal knights as reinforcement. It's going to dispatch half of this force almost to come deal with my guys, so I'm going to start losing men quickly. The Varangian Guard are just really good at dealing damage like that, so I'm going to pull out my general and instead throw in these steadfast feudal knights. So I'm hoping to balance this out, help buy time. Over here it's really evenly fought. These mailed knights, it looks like they're going to lose, but the spear militia are helping to even things out, especially these guys. And then let's go ahead and look over here. So the cavalry decided to come out and attack me, mostly because they think they can catch me flat-footed, but I do have some archers here getting some shots off point blank, so I guess I forced him into a charge. And now he's finally showed off what is in the rest of his force. It's mostly these Croat axemen and a decent amount of archers. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and charge forward with some of my forces a bit and try and engage my Sherwood archers. These guys are going to be engaging his own mailed knights. I know this is his main contingent. I just want to knock out as many of his heavy infantry as possible. And over here, again, countercharging and then getting in some archer fire from 2 full units. And that'll really help even up this fight, just deal additional HP damage before I charge in with my spearmen. Over on this front, he's going to be moving forward with a lot of these dismounted knights, but that's why I like keeping these cheap units present, because they can soak up that kind of fire. And then I have these Kerns, who are skirmishers that you guys saw before. They throw spears like javelin men, so they'll be able to tank or do a lot of these damage as those guys are held up against some cheap units. And I'm continuing. I got intercepted by some Croat axemen, so I'm going to be sending in armored sergeants followed up by dismounted feudal knights. Over here, battle is still raging on that far left. It looks like France committed his general once more against these archers, so he's tying these down. In the center, it's really a big mix, but I think my guys are helping turn the tide against the weary troops and help stem this what would be a rout. And most importantly, my general is roaming. Even one cavalry band can really turn the tide, so he's going to be swooping around here. He's going to try and engage with those troops. Let's go back and watch this engagement. So over here, I was able to crack his horsemen, mostly because I had spearmen for support and then archer fire. And right here, look at this. My Kerns in the background are doing a lot of damage to his guys, these heavy infantry, and then especially my Sherwood archers are doing more damage. And they're all just being soaked up by these Welsh spearmen. Yeah, they're going to get destroyed, but look at this. They can hold long enough that his charge is rendered ineffective, and it'll take them a decent amount of time to just chew through my lines. Meanwhile, you have all these archer units up on the hill targeting his line. My Kerns in the back are just throwing everything into this giant mass of men. Over here, we're holding the tide back, but slowly, look at this, he is crashing through, so he's going to get to the Kerns here. So this is at risk of falling apart, but I do have this flank more secured with my cavalry that won this engagement, so they're going to be helping to come back and turn the tide of that battle. Over here, I got charged by some more of these feudal knights who were able to break and basically destroy one of my units there. The other one is in desperate straits against his dismounted feudal knights, still at 40. So it looks like I'm going to lose, so I'm committing my general here, try and hold that back. And our combined might was finally able to crush through this force. I don't think I showed you some of it, but my general came in and did some more charges on that force. So finally we're able to break that just using our combined might. And now all those forces are going to help turn the tide of this battle. In the center, I was finally able to force his guys back. My cavalry who returned from the fight from back here, some of them, I immediately sent them to help attack this because this was charging through my center. I killed their general at the same time, so it's going to start turning the tide more and more. So over here, his massive men was just chewing through my line, so I could throw everything I had at him, but mostly he was just winning this fight, and so all I could do was just, hold them at bay and keep pouring on the fire with all my troops. That was kind of my strategy on this front, was to have a lot of missile troops and just bog him down and then just crush them, kind of like yeah, it's a pretty solid strategy, although if your opponent kind of starts chewing through your lines too quick, or if he has too many cav, he could just swoop around here and knock out these guys, and then I lose. But I made sure I won that cavalry engagement, and now here we're just rolling up this flank. yeah, seeing this being shot at from archers on both sides, these guys are quickly going to collapse. And then here we go, the remainder of his force back here that chewed through my guys. They're kind of be left with cleaning up these, but I'm really getting so many kills. Kind of reminds me of Agincourt, where the heavy, well, in this case it would have been the French attacking the England. But yeah, I'm just bogging down his guys, slowing them down as much as possible, and just pouring on the fire. If I had crossbowmen at this close range, oh, those guys would be so done so quick. But I opted for Sherwood archers just because they're a cool unit with pretty high damage too and long range. And here I am sweeping in from the side, and that's going to be it. But you can see just how closely fought this was. Basically everyone ended up dying. And then the cavalry fight was, wow, everyone just obliterated themselves. So a little bit of help from myself to help my ally really helped turn this tide of battle, and then he helped me mop up this side where otherwise it would have been a pretty closely fought battle. So teamwork won us this day. Anyways, that's going to be it for the replay. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you next time.